So you're scrolling through the internet and suddenly you see a spider glowing in the dark. Like really glowing. And you're like, wait, is that a spider? Or is that a haunted house light bulb? You think, oh, it's just some weird spider with a built-in nightlight. But then you remember, spiders don't have eyes like us. So how do they even see in the dark? Are they like the spider version of a night owl, or are they just glowing for fun? You try to imagine a spider walking around in total darkness, like a spider in a black hole. But then you realize, spiders don't walk around in total darkness. They're usually in the dark, but not the dark that's pitch black. More like the dark that's kinda dim and has some light coming from the moon. So if they're not in pitch black, maybe they can see a little. But wait, glow-in-the-dark spiders. Are they like the spider equivalent of a glowing stick? Or are they actually using some kind of superpower that we don't understand? And then you think maybe they're not glowing to see. Maybe they're glowing to be seen. Like, hey, I'm a spider and I'm here to eat your flies, or maybe your house, or maybe your soul. So how do these glow-in-the-dark spiders actually navigate? Are they like the spider version of a neon sign? Or are they just really bad at hiding in the dark? So what exactly are we talking about? Let me make sure I'm not just talking about glowing spiders in a horror movie. We're talking about real spiders that glow in the dark, not the ones that live in your closet or your nightmares. These spiders aren't just glowing for show. They actually use that light to find their way around. It's like they're carrying a tiny flashlight in their belly, but instead of batteries, they have some kind of glowy magic. So we're not just talking about spiders that glow. We're talking about spiders that glow and navigate using that glow. Okay, now I'm really confused. But I'm not the only one. I bet the spiders are confused too. Let me get this straight. These spiders are like glow sticks that also know how to find their way home. Okay, so you're like, why should I care about spiders glowing in the dark? Well, imagine if your phone had a flashlight that only worked at night, and you had to rely on that light to find your way home. That's basically what these spiders are doing, but with bioluminescence and a lot more spider legs. And if you think that's weird, wait till you hear about the spider that glows like a disco ball. So we're here in the year 2024, and we've got a glow-in-the-dark spider that's basically a tiny lantern. But how did it get this power? Well, let's rewind to the Cretaceous period when dinosaurs were still a thing. Back then, spiders were just regular spiders, no glow, just a bunch of creepy crawlies trying to survive. But evolution had other plans. It was like, hey, what if these spiders could light up? That'd be a solid upgrade. So they started to develop this glow, probably from some kind of chemical reaction in their bodies. It's like a tiny bioluminescent light show, but for spiders. Who knew spiders could be the original glow sticks? Fast forward a few million years, and now we've got these glow-in-the-dark spiders, still using their light to find their way. It's like a spider with a built-in flashlight, but also kind of terrifying. So even though they've been around for ages, they're still basically the same. Just a bunch of glowing spiders trying to survive and avoid getting eaten. It's like a spider version of a neon sign in the dark. And that's basically the story of how glow-in-the-dark spiders got their glow. It's not like they asked for it, but hey, if you can light up the dark, you're basically a superhero in the spider world. So imagine you're a spider and it's super dark in your web. You can't see anything, but you still gotta find your way around. You're like a spider version of a sleepwalker, but with 8 legs and a lot of patience. But wait, how do you even know where you are if you can't see? Oh right, some spiders actually glow in the dark like little neon bugs. They're not just for show, they're like spider lanterns. So they use that glow to light up their web, like a spider version of a nightlight. It helps them see their own web and maybe even find other spiders or prey. But here's the kicker. Not all glow-in-the-dark spiders do it for the same reason. Some are like spiders with a flashlight, others are like spiders with a lantern, and some are just glowy for fun. So in the end, it's like a spider party where everyone's glowing, but only some of them know how to navigate. The rest, well, they're just glowing. So glow-in-the-dark spiders are like the Harry Potter of the spider world. They don't need flashlights or GPS, they just glow like a disco ball in the dark. But wait, they don't actually glow like a light bulb. They absorb light during the day and then slowly release it like a tiny campfire at night. So they're basically walking around with a tiny flashlight made of bioluminescent chemicals. No batteries, just chemistry. But here's the thing, not all glow-in-the-dark spiders are the same. Some glow more, some glow less, and some might even glow in different colors, like a spider disco. So the setup, they absorb light, store it, and then use it like a glowing flashlight to navigate their spooky little world. Okay, so they have this glowy stuff in their body, but how do they actually use it to find their way? Well, it's like having a little flashlight inside your head, but with more spider parts. The glow isn't just for show, It's actually a way to see in the dark, like a spider version of night vision. They can spot other glowing things, like their webs or maybe other spiders. But wait, how do they know which way to go? Well, they probably use the glow like a compass, figuring out where the light is coming from and heading toward it. It's like if your fridge had a light and you could see where it was just by glowing, and then you'd go find it. That's basically how these spiders do it. And here's the kicker, they don't need eyes for this. The glow helps them navigate without actually seeing, like a spider with a built-in GPS and no need for a screen. So here's the twist, they don't just glow, they also make their own light. It's like a tiny flashlight in their belly powered by the moonlight they've already stored. It's super smart, basically. This light isn't bright, but it's enough to help them see their own legs and the ground. Think of it like a night light in a dark room, just enough to know where you are. But here's the kicker, they can turn this light on and off, like a switch. So they don't waste energy glowing all the time, only when they need to find their way. It's kind of like if your phone had a flashlight that only turned on when you needed it, and it knew when to turn it off. Super efficient. So they're not just glowing, they're using their glow as a built-in compass and night light. It's like a spider with a tiny magical lantern. Pretty cool, right? So here's the thing, glow-in-the-dark spiders aren't actually glowing like a disco ball. They're just storing light like a little solar panel, then using it like a night light. It's like having a tiny flashlight in your leg, but cooler. But how do they know where to go? Oh, they're not just walking around randomly. They're basically using the light they've stored to see in the dark, like a human using a nightlight to find their way to the bathroom. It's not like they're carrying a lantern. They're just using their own stored light to see. So it's more like a bioluminescent compass, but for spiders. And it's way more useful than a compass for finding cheese. The science is actually pretty simple. They absorb light during the day, store it in special cells, and then release it at night. It's like your phone charging during the day and then glowing at night. Except it's a spider and it's way cooler. So to recap, glow-in-the-dark spiders are basically night owls with a built-in light show. They use the light they've stored to navigate, like a glowing map in their head. And that's how they find their way through the dark, one glowing step at a time. So imagine you're in a dark room and you're holding a glowing stick. You don't need to see where you're going, you just follow the light. That's kind of what these spiders do. But wait, they don't have a stick. They have this special stuff in their body called luciferin. It's like a glowing battery inside them. They charge it up with sunlight. Then when it's dark, they use that battery to glow. But it's not like a flashlight, it's more like a faintly glowing glow stick. They can't see their own light, but they can feel it. So they're like a glowing compass, but for spiders. They don't need eyes to find their way, they just follow the glow from their own body. It's weird, but it works. So next time you see a glowing spider, just remember, it's not a superhero. It's just a spider with a glowing battery and a love for the dark. So here's the part that sounds like a sci-fi movie, but it's real. These spiders don't just glow, they use their glow like a flashlight. It's like if you had a tiny lantern stuck to your back and you were trying to find your way through the dark. They use this glow to spot other spiders or find their web. It's like having a nightlight that helps them navigate without tripping over their own legs. Imagine if your socks had a little light so you never step on them. Scientists think this glow is actually a kind of chemical reaction inside their bodies. It's like a tiny glow stick inside their skin. They don't need batteries, just some special chemicals and a little bit of light. And here's the kicker, this glow doesn't just help them see, it also helps other spiders find them. Like a glowing GPS beacon, but for spiders. It's kind of like if your car had a neon sign that said, "I'm lost, please help me." So even though it sounds like something from a movie, glow-in-the-dark spiders are just doing what they do. Using light to find their way, warn others, and maybe even find a snack. It's like a spider with a tiny lantern and a tiny personality. Okay, so the first myth is that glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow to navigate. But that's not how it works. They're not like fireflies trying to light up the dark. Spiders don't need to glow to find their way. They're super good at sensing vibrations, smells, and even the texture of the web they are on. Glow is just extra. Imagine if your phone had a flashlight and you still used GPS. That's kind of what these spiders do. Glow is cool, but not the main tool. So the idea that they glow to navigate is like saying your phone's flashlight is your main way to find your way home. It's not wrong, but it's not the whole story. Glow is more like a party trick. They use it to scare off predators or find mates, not to guide their daily lives. It's fun, but not the map. So myth number 2 is that glow-in-the-dark spiders use their glow like a flashlight. But here's the thing, they're not actually using the light to see anything. It's more like they're wearing neon sunglasses and thinking they're invisible. The glow is more like a warning sign, Like if you saw a glowing spider, you'd probably say, that's not a normal spider, that's a glowing spider, I need to run. Also, glow-in-the-dark spiders don't actually glow in the dark. They glow in the light. They store energy from the sun or light and then glow when it's dark. So they're basically solar-powered glow sticks. So the idea that they navigate by glowing is like saying a glow stick can read a map. It's cool, but it's not how it works. So myth number 2 is busted. Glow-in-the-dark spiders don't use their glow to navigate. They use their legs, their instincts, and maybe a little bit of luck. So you're like, wait, glow-in-the-dark spiders? That's not a thing. But here's the kicker, you're probably looking at one right now. They're hiding in your walls, your ceilings, even your drawers. You just don't see them because they're super stealthy. These spiders are like the Batman of the spider world. They don't need flashlights. They just glow in the dark and go about their business. You think they're hiding, but they're actually just chilling like, I'm not a monster, I'm just a glow-in-the-dark spider. So next time you're in a dark room and you see a green light, maybe it's not a ghost. It could be a spider with a glow-in-the-dark superpower, or it could be your imagination. Either way, you're not alone. So in conclusion, glow-in-the-dark spiders are everywhere, they're totally cool, and they probably know you're watching. But hey, they're not evil, just a little bit mysterious, like a bad movie that you can't stop watching. So here's a real-world example that goes surprisingly hard. Imagine you're a spider trying to find your way home in the dark, but you're also trying not to fall into a bowl of cereal. You're not just navigating, you're also avoiding the biggest obstacle in your path. It's like trying to walk through a room with a giant cup of coffee that's about to spill everywhere, but then you realize the coffee cup is actually a trap, and the real danger is the cereal underneath. You're not just avoiding obstacles, you're avoiding a whole food fight. So you have to balance between avoiding the cereal, not falling into the coffee, and still finding your way back to your web. It's like a spider version of a maze with a snack bar, and somehow, through all this chaos, you still manage to make it back. Maybe you're not just navigating the dark, you're navigating the chaos of being a spider. So the glow-in-the-dark spider isn't just a glow stick with legs. It's basically the ultimate glow-up, like a spider that's been to a disco and never came back. It's like a spider that's been to a disco and never came back. They glow so bright, you could probably use them as a nightlight. Imagine a spider that's like a tiny 8-legged lantern. It's basically the spider version of a glow stick, but with more legs and less plastic. Some species glow so much, they're basically bioluminescent disco balls. They're not just glowing, they're turning the whole forest into a neon party. It's like a spider with a glow-up and a party vibe. And here's the kicker, they're not just glowing for show. They're using that light to find their way around. It's like having a flashlight built into your skeleton but with more legs and less batteries. So next time you see a glowing spider, don't just stare. Ask yourself, is it just glowing or is it running a glow-based GPS? Either way, it's basically a spider with a light show and a sense of direction. Okay, so the glow-in-the-dark spider is out in the dark, relying on its glowing hairs to find its way. But what if those hairs stop glowing? Like, what if it's in the middle of a total blackout and it can't see anything? That's when the whole system falls apart. Without its glow, it's like a kid trying to read a book in the dark. It can't tell left from right, up from down. It's like a spider with a broken flashlight and no map. Total chaos. And then the worst happens. It tries to use its web to find its way, but the web is just a tangled mess. It's like a spider making a map with a blindfold on. It's not a web, it's a nightmare. Eventually, it just gives up and falls into a dark corner. It's like a glow-in-the-dark spider having a meltdown. It's not a spider anymore, it's a dark spider with no plan. So in the end, it's not the darkness that's the problem, it's the spider not knowing how to handle it. But hey, at least it's still a spider. Just a very confused, glow-deprived one. So they glow in the dark, but that doesn't mean they're superstars at night. You know how sometimes your phone screen is too bright and it messes up your eyes? Well, these spiders are like that. They glow, but it's not super bright, so they don't actually see much. Plus, they're not just glowing for show. It's like when you light a candle in a dark room and it casts shadows everywhere. Their glow helps them see a little, but it's not like having a flashlight. They're basically using a tiny lantern to light their way. And here's the kicker, the more they glow, the more they stand out. Like when you're at a party and you're wearing neon sneakers. You're visible, but you're also basically shouting "I'm easy prey" to every predator in the room. So while glowing is cool, it's not like having a superpower. It's more like a tiny light bulb on a string. You can see a little, but you're also basically a nightlight in a dark forest. And the forest, it's full of things that love nightlights. So yeah, glow-in-the-dark spiders are like the party guest who brings the light, but also the one who forgets to turn it off. They're visible, they're lit, but they're also kinda doomed. But hey, that's what makes them interesting, right? So how did we even figure out glow-in-the-dark spiders navigate? Well, it's not like we asked them. We just stared at them for a while like, hey, why are you glowing in the dark? Are you a nightlight or what? Turns out they glow because they're eating stuff that glows, like some kind of glowing food buffet. But that's not how they find their way. They're more like a glowing GPS system with a bad sense of direction. And guess what? They found out these spiders don't really use their glow to find their way. They use it to scare off predators, like a tiny lightsaber in the dark. That's the real secret, not the glow itself. So we didn't just figure this out by accident. We had to be patient, like waiting for a toddler to walk, and then we realized the spider's glow is like a warning sign, not a navigation tool. It's like they're saying, I'm not a toy, I'm a creepy crawler. In the end, it's all about observation and patience. If you just watch long enough, even spiders can teach you something about light, survival, and how not to get eaten by a tiny, glowing creature. So here's the weird edge case. What if a glow-in-the-dark spider lives in a place that never gets dark? Like, imagine a spider that's like I glow but there's no dark to glow in. What's the point? It's like if you tried to make a glow stick work in a disco ball. You're still glowing but the whole room is already lit up, so the spider's glow is just extra. So how does it navigate? Maybe it just ignores its glow and uses other senses. Like I'm a spider, I can feel the web, I can sense vibrations, I don't need to glow if there's no dark. Or maybe it's like a glow-in-the-dark cat that's stuck in a room with a neon sign. It's still glowing but it's also just being a cat. It doesn't care about the dark, it cares about the food. So in the end, the spider just adapts. It's not about the glow, it's about survival. If there's no dark, it just glows harder, and maybe gets a little confused.